Hey, Jack Upstone here for Vegas Pro Insiders Daily. Today is Tuesday, December the 5th. It's all good. Things are going to start to change around here because normally we talk about college football today, looking at the early line moves and betting trends. But you know what? We only have one college football game this week. We are going to talk about it, but that's all we got. So we're going to start to change things around a little bit. We're going to put all the NFL games, well, all but one NFL game, into our discussion today, and look to, and then have some other newer things for you as we go along for the week. We'll be back tomorrow, of course. We'll talk about that one NFL game, and we'll be talking most likely some basketball and possibly some hockey on Wednesday. So that's something we have to look forward to. In addition, looking forward to the picks last week, pretty solid. 11-7 altogether between college and pro, including 5-2 in the NFL for free picks. If you're curious, another good thing to follow, if you go to the website, VegasProInsidersDaily.com, the direction of the move. I've mentioned this a few times this year, and it's just been pretty consistent. And this last week, it was amazing. It was 14-4 across the board. So the direction of where the actual early line move, it works. So besides just following the video, you should also check out the website. Check out what those numbers, maybe if there's something that can help you with your handicapping. And speaking of something can help you with your handicapping, how about becoming a Vegas Pro Insider Daily member? 4-0-1 college football Saturday. Very good. NFL still rolling right along. I believe 22-12 last 34 picks. So that's been good. $39.99 is all it's going to cost you. And you're going to get super systems. You're going to get Wise Guy picks. Wise Guy picks lately 7-1-2. You're going to get the hottest Wise Guy. I also post his picks in there. And right now he's on a 4-1 run. So that's all for you. $39.99 all it's going to cost you. We got all the bowl games listed, so you know there's going to be good stuff coming your way and lots of opportunity to make some cash. Join Vegas Pro Insider Daily to help you make it happen. Hey, let's get to these football games. Let's talk about them and see where the betting trends are. We'll start off with the Army-Navy game. Now, this game actually has some appeal, more so this year, because both teams are good. That was true last year. Army got their first win in ages, but where the betting action is on this is on the total, and it is very understandable as to why. Total went from 51 down to 46.5. And that is the absolute reason for this is the history. 10 straight unders in this series. You got two teams, good teams that run similar offenses. I mean, they both run triple options, so they're very familiar with it. They practice it every day. And so they're basically mirror images of one another. So the total going under, that it makes perfect sense to me, and 70% of bettors are on that at the moment. Now, let's shift our attention to the NFL. We had an excellent game, Minnesota and Carolina. Minnesota has been stable as it gets. Okay, they've been like New England in how well that they played week after week after week. And they're going up against a Carolina team that is coming off a not very good loss to New Orleans. They really didn't play very well, didn't look very good. So that was kind of a tough loss. Bettors are on Minnesota, taking them from -1 to -2.5. The Vikings, I mean, they play great defense. They control the tempo with their offense, and they have a number of really good playmakers that can make plays. Carolina's defense of lately has not been nearly as good, even though it's still being advertised as such. I think they're giving up over 26 points per game. The total so that's been part of the deal here. And then I think the total also fell. Yeah, it did. Now that I think about it, went down from 42 down to 41 on this one. 61% of bettors are on Minnesota at the moment, and 65% are on the over in spite of the falling total. Next, we have San Francisco and the Houston Texans. Now, I would say an eyebrow or two was raised when Houston went from -1 to -3 against San Francisco. I mean, San Francisco has won 2 of their last 3 games. They've looked considerably better after starting the season with all defeats. The Texans are 1-5 in their last 6 straight up. And they had 6 injuries on Sunday to go along with all they've had all year long. So this is a beat-up football team. But here's the other perspective on this one. Do you really think, here's the other perspective based on the line movement. Do you really think San Francisco can win 2 road games back-to-back? That's what you got to ask yourself. I think it's a tricky spot. 82% of bettors are on Houston. All right. Washington travels to the Los Angeles Chargers, out to Carson, California, one of our new favorite spots, where I think they even had a sellout last week. At least it looked like a sellout. I didn't check the attendance. It looked like the Chargers had a sellout, and there was actually Chargers fans. And by the way, what do you think of those new Chargers uniforms? Before they had the dark navy, of course, they always have the ever popular light blues. Now this one was kind of like ocean water blue. I don't know what the official color of it is, but it's a little bit different. I didn't have a strong opinion. I still like the original ones, but I like this color better than those dark navy ones. I think it's a better look. Anyways, the Chargers, major role. 6-2 straight up and against the spread in their last 8 after an 0-4 start, and they were released as a touchdown favorite against Washington, and then slipped down to -6 against the Redskins. Now, Washington is extremely unpredictable. You never know what you're going to get. Right now, with their injury situation, basically Kirk Cousins has to play the role of Russell Wilson. He has to do everything for them offensively. But he can get hot. We've seen Kirk Cousins any number of times get hot. Is he going to get hot against a improving Chargers defense? We will find out, won't we? But the betting public has influenced the line enough to have it go down. But though 60% of bettors are still on LA South to win and cover the game. The New York Jets travel to the Rocky Mountains to play the Denver Broncos. Oh, the Broncos! What a god awful team. This time of year. This really gets hard to predict these types of games with teams that just aren't very good. I mean, Denver. Wow, hard to believe, isn't it? That the best quarterback on the field, I mean, out of all of them, is going to be Josh McCown. Okay, for the Jets, 38 years old, I believe, same age as Drew Brees. Pretty amazing stuff indeed. Broncos, lost 8 in a row, failed to cover not one of them, and they have been taken from -1 home favorite to a +1 home favorite. That's interesting. Now the Broncos' problems, though. I mean, their defense isn't nearly as good, but their biggest problem, 21 turnovers during this 8-game losing streak. Just atrocious. I got an opinion on this game. I'm going to hold off, though, till Friday, as we'll talk about later. Right now, 92% of bettors are on Gang Green. This is a game I'm looking forward to. I'm going to talk about you next. Philadelphia and the Los Angeles Rams. Ooh, that is going to be a dandy. these NFC games the last couple of weeks, outstanding. Good stuff. Philadelphia, we saw them lose to Seattle. Kind of, I wouldn't say got beat up, but, they certainly weren't the same team that went on that long winning streak. Bettors are paying attention, or at least they have a stronger opinion. They've taken Philadelphia from +1 to +2.5 against the LA Rams, who have not gone backwards. They lost recently, but came right back and bounced back. Looked good. Seems like it might be an overreaction. I mean, Philadelphia they're the best team in the NFL just last week, 4 days ago, and now they're a rising underdog. I know they're on the road, but just something to think about there. And in that game, the difference in the loss to Seattle, they had 2 turnovers. Seattle had none, but they did have a plus 115 yards advantage. So it's not like they just fell apart. Okay, they made a couple mistakes and it cost them. Okay, that's the story of the game. Both teams, young, talented, and exciting. Dynamic offenses, improving defenses almost continually. 74% of backers are on Philadelphia in spite of the point spread going up. Here's a game that was so lame that they changed the time of this game. Dallas and the New York Giants. This was supposed to be the feature game at 4:25 Eastern time. It's now a 1 o'clock start because Who cares about Dallas and the New York Giants, right? The Giants, though, I don't know. The Giants have slipped a digit from +6 to +5. Was it because Ben McAdoo got fired? Maybe. Was it because Eli Manning has been reinstalled as a starting quarterback? Maybe. Maybe it's because Geno Smith isn't as good as Eli Manning even now. Well, that's pretty obvious, right? We all understand the G-men stink. They're a rotten team. But Dallas beat Washington, okay, at home. Finally, they got rid of the losing streak. I'm looking at the Giants and I'm wondering to myself, you have a coaching change, positive for the Giants because the players were not on board with McAdoo anymore. You got Manning back in the starting lineup. You know he's going to be thrilled and excited to be back doing that. And they're home against Dallas, okay? So the crowd will be on their favor as long as they don't stink, okay? So that being the case. So is this the time for the Giants to step up and maybe get another victory? 71% of bettors are on the Cowboys. That's not really a surprise, is it, though? Finally, Monday night, New England against Miami. Pretty not an exciting game. Two line moves on this one. The Patriots have been taken from -12 to -11. I think that just has everything to do with Rob Gronkowski, and probably the same is true of the total, going from 48.5 down to 47. I think that also plays a part in, along with the fact, by the way, that the New England Patriots offense still very good, 28 some points a game, but they're kicking a lot of field goals. They're tied for the most field goal attempts in the NFL this season. That is not normally what they do. They normally score touchdowns, don't kick field goals. So that's, I think, the other reason for the total slipping a little bit. 88% of bettors think New England, though, is still the play. Can't disagree. And 95% are on the under. So keep that in mind. So, hey, that is everything we have to talk about today for the NFL and just a little bit of college football. We'll be back tomorrow, as I mentioned. We'll be talking the other game I did not bring it into lines, and I guess you can pretty much figure it out. It's the Thursday night game, so we're going to save that for tomorrow. So we'll talk about that, and as I mentioned, some other stuff. And going forward, no more Saturday videos. We're going to do them on Friday for the NFL. So that's going to be something new with the college football changes going on. So, hey, Doug Upstone, that's everything I got. Vegas Pro Insider Daily membership, $39.99. Get my picks and a whole bunch of other really good winning stuff. As of right now, I am out.